Hey everyone! If you're into the Indian beverage market like we are, then you've been seeing this cola war that's brewing between Coca-Cola and the comeback of Kempacula.
Yeah, it's really heating up.
We're going to dive into a Times of India article all about it today.
We'll break down Coca-Cola's strategy.
And how they're planning to take on Kempa's super aggressive pricing.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, so the big news here is that Coca-Cola is actually planning to lower their price.
Right.
For their 400 milliliter PET bottles in southern India.
And I think that shows that Coca-Cola is feeling the pressure from Kempacula's strategy to really disrupt the market with these low prices.
So they're dropping the price to match Kempa.
It's not that straightforward.
Okay.
It's not a straight price drop.
Okay.
They're getting a little creative with it. They're repackaging those 400 milliliter bottles.
Oh, interesting.
As 250 milliliters plus 150 milliliters free.
So it's like a bonus.
Exactly. Okay. Kind of a buy one, get one situation.
That's pretty clever.
It is. And this lets them bring down the MRP to RS20.
To match Kempa.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's a subtle change, but a really effective way to compete. Okay, I was reading about the distributor situation too.
Right.
How does all this play into that?
So right now, distributors have a ton of those 250 milliliter bottles.
Okay.
That are priced at RS20. And they have to get rid of all that inventory.
Oh, wow.
Before they can even put the new 400 milliliter bottles on the shelves.
So Coca-Cola has to deal with all these 250 milliliter bottles while they're trying to launch this 400 milliliter thing.
Yep.
That's a huge headache.
Definitely complicates things.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder what they'll even do with that 250 milliliter size in the long run.
Right. Will it just go away?
Or will they come up with some other clever repackaging for that one too?
Yeah, that's a good question.
It is.
Now, from the consumer's perspective,
Yeah.
what does all of this mean for us? Like, how is this going to change the choices that we're making?
Well, one thing to think about is brand loyalty.
Yeah.
Will people stick with the Coke they know? Or will they be tempted by Kempa because it's cheaper?
Yeah, and I actually remember drinking Kempacula when I was a kid. It was a big deal back then.
Oh, yeah, it was the Indian Cola.
Right.
Before the global brands kind of took over everything.
And now Reliance Industries.
Yeah.
They own Kempa.
They do.
And they're really pushing this narrative of Kempa as the original.
Right.
The real Indian Cola.
Like the OG Indian Cola.
Yeah.
So they're going for that nostalgia.
Trying to make that emotional connection.
Exactly.
It's a good move.
Not just about the price.
She's a much bigger strategy.
They're playing a lot of different things.
Exactly.
But where exactly is this price war happening?
Well, it seems like the main battlefield is in what's called general trade channels.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
Typically, it's your independent stores, your smaller shops where people tend to buy individual bottles.
Okay, so like the little shops where a lot of people get their drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about like the bigger supermarkets? So those are modern trade.
Okay.
And over there, it's more about the bigger bottles. And the price difference is actually more noticeable between Coke and Kempa in those stores.
Interesting. So it's like two different cola wars going on at the same time.
Pretty much.
In the smaller stores, you've got this creative repackaging. And in the supermarkets, it's more about just a straight price difference.
Yep.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
It is.
So we've got Coke trying to outsmart Kempa with these 400 milliliter bottles.
Right.
Distributors stuck with all these 250 milliliter bottles. And two totally different battlefields in this cola war.
Yeah.
Where do we even go from here?
Well, let's think about the impact on the whole Indian beverage market. This could really shake things up.
Yeah, I think it has the potential.
To be a game changer.
Definitely.
I mean, we're seeing these local brands like Kempa really challenging these huge global companies like Coca-Cola.
Right, and consumers are definitely a lot more price conscious now than they used to be. I wonder what's going to happen to all those smaller beverage brands out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Are they going to be able to survive this?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
I think they might have to find a way to be even more creative.
Really stand out?
Yeah, exactly. They might have to focus on niche flavors.
Yeah.
Or come up with some really unique ingredients.
Or maybe like hyperlocal marketing campaigns.
Right. Target specific areas.
It'll be interesting to see how they try to adapt.
Definitely.
Like this whole price war is forcing everybody to up their game.
Totally. A survival of the fittest kind of situation.
And I guess ultimately it's good for consumers.
Right. In the end.
More choices, better prices.
Maybe we'll even get some cool new products.
Yeah.
As brands try to innovate and come up with new stuff.
So we talked about Coke's strategy, Kempa's nostalgia play, and how this could all impact those smaller brands.
Yeah.
What are some of the long-term implications of this?
Oh, that's interesting to think about. Yeah. How will this change the whole landscape?
Like the beverage industry.
The beverage industry in India.
Yeah.
Will we see more consolidation?
What do you mean by that?
Like, will the bigger companies start buying up the smaller ones? Or could this actually create opportunities for new players to jump in?
And what about us?
Yeah, what about the consumers?
How is this going to change what we're buying down the road?
It's tough to say for sure.
Yeah.
This could just be like a short-term thing.
A price war that just kind of fizzles out?
Right. Or it could be the start of something much bigger. Maybe a permanent shift in pricing.
Yeah.
And consumer behavior.
Like, will people just completely forget about brand loyalty?
Do people stick with the Coke they know?
Or be tempted by the cheaper Campa? And what about the quality?
Oh.
Like, are companies going to try and cut corners?
To keep those prices low.
Will they sacrifice quality?
Will they?
Or will this competition actually make their products better?
That's the other side of it.
It's interesting. I'm already thinking about what kind of cola I'm going to buy next time I'm at the store.
It's not just about grabbing your usual anymore.
Yeah, it's more complicated now.
It's more to consider.
It feels like it's more than just buying a drink now.
Totally.
You have to think about the price,
Uh-huh.
the brand.
The nostalgia.
Yeah.
Maybe even some ethical stuff.
Yeah, like which companies you want to support.
Exactly.
Wow, it's like choosing a cola.
It's become a statement.
Yeah.
It's wild how a simple price war can have such a big impact.
Like ripple effects across the whole market.
And even influence the choices that we're making every day.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
So it sounds like this cola war.
This cola war is far from over.
Okay, so we've got all this competition going on, potential shakeups in the industry. Our own buying decisions are getting more complicated.
Right.
What's the big takeaway here?
I think this deep dive has shown us that Coca-Cola, they're not just letting Kempacula walk all over them.
Right.
They're adapting.
Yeah.
They're coming up with ways to counter Kempa's strategy.
That repackaging thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
It's clever.
Makes you wonder what else they might try.
Right. It's like they've got a whole bag of tricks.
And Kempa's over there, really leaning into that nostalgia and those competitive prices.
It's a real David and Goliath story.
But with a modern twist.
Totally.
So as this keeps heating up, what's going to determine the winner?
That's the big question.
Is it just going to be about who can offer the lowest price?
Right. Will consumers just go for the cheapest option every time?
Or is there more to it than that?
There might be.
Like what?
Well, brand loyalty for one. Some people are diehard Coke fans. Taste preferences. Maybe even national pride could play a role.
Yeah, maybe people want to support an Indian brand.
Exactly.
So it makes you think about what's really important to you.
Yeah. As a consumer.
Am I just going for the cheapest thing?
Right.
Or is there something else that matters more?
And beyond just our individual choices, this whole thing raises some big questions.
About the future of the beverage industry in India.
Yeah. Like, will the global giants always be on top?
Or can a local brand like Campa really make a comeback?
It's fascinating to think about.
This deep dive has really given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's more than just a simple bottle of cola.
Yeah, there's so much going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, from marketing
to
pricing,
the consumer behavior,
even industry trends.
It's really a complex landscape.
It is.
So that's our look
our deep dive
into the Indian cola wars.
We hope you learned something new.
Yeah, we uncovered some pretty surprising tactics.
Definitely.
Explored the impact on all the different players. And even thought about the bigger questions.
Yeah, about consumer choices.
And the future of the industry.
That's a lot to consider.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive. Yeah, thanks for listening.
And next time you reach for a cola, take a second to think about everything that went into it.
All the dynamics at play.
It's more than just a refreshing drink.
It's a whole story.
Cheers.